So I missed last week's episode, Abner versus Gonzalez, and Faber and McGregor, man, those guys were bickering and feuding last week. Like, I want the fight to happen, but of course, Faber has to prove that he could fight McGregor. I mean, if McGregor loses to Aldo, maybe that it will happen, but Faber has been losing his stride in the last. He's won his last couple of fights, I believe, but he's not what he used to be. I gotta say though, Gonzalez and Abner last week was Gonzalez was landing some good knees, but then he would Abner would get him on the ground and really dominate in that position, would really ground and pound and go for the win. So last week's fight was okay. So we see this week's, and boy, am I jealous. God, I want to pool. Did you see that pool party? Forget about the fights, people. Forget about the fights. UFC knows how to throw a pool party. Dana White knows how to throw a pool party because, oh my God. I can't even watch that episode again because I get so jealous. I'm like, damn, man, those women be fine. Oh my God. Oh, I need to start training. I need to start going and try to be in. I don't know, one more fight. Well, anyway, so I guess we got to talk about the fights. So Faber's losing, guys, quick. In the first fight, we had Artem versus, I think it was Swenson, but Swenson broke an elbow, so he's out, and that's for Team McGregor. Bummer, it happens. So Chris was picked as the worst kind of fight, and he was picked. He's basically the only way he can get back in is somebody got hurt, and somebody got hurt. So he got back in. So Chris versus Artem, and Artem had patience in there. Dude, McGregor in this patience, honestly. But Artem, man, he throws some hard shots. In this fight, give it up to Chris. He really pursued Artem. The fight was really entertaining. It was a brawl. It was a slugfest. It didn't go to decision. It went to KO in the second round towards the end. Chris did get tired. Chris landed some great elbows. But he was getting tagged. The replay showed a lot of Artem missing these big shots, but he still was tagging Chris, especially the beautiful body shots that he was hitting Chris with. But Chris was hanging in there, man. He did land a couple of shots of himself. The leg kicks, the kicks in general were working for Chris, but overall, Artem's fighting style, man. He's a real threat. He's a real challenger right there. This boy is he's making people, he's hurting people. And Chris at the end of the first round was bleeding from the mouth. He got tagged. You could tell he got messed up. So Artem wins the fight by really delivering a nice left, I believe it was a left hook, big blow to Chris. Chris went flopping down. He hurt Chris a couple of times in this fight, but you could tell Chris was getting super tired in the second round. I mean, he was really relentless in that first round. He was really going to Artem. And those elbows, I think those elbows were great, and the knees that he was throwing as well were great. Chris did a lot of good work, but then, he was getting tagged a lot. And when he started to get tired, he had his hands down low. And Artem could get caught with one of these punches like Anderson Silva if he has his hands down low. I know that's his fighting style, but you could always get caught. But Artem's very fast and quick, and he just has that great power. Just great power. Moving on. So Chris loses. Favorite guy, he loses another guy, honestly. And Artem moves on. I like Artem. He's a little arrogant and cocky, and he seems like a little kind of a douchebag, but I like him. He's a great fighter. He's a heavy hitter, so and he goes in there. He backs up what he's going to say. He's going to go war with you, and I like fighters who say that and they back it up. So we go on to Ryan Hall versus Saul Rogers, and I gotta say, this fight was boring. This fight was lackluster. I wanted Ryan to win, but Saul he's a powerful guy. All the punches he was giving Ryan would just go all the way back. It was that powerful, I guess. Ryan definitely felt Saul's strength. The problem with Ryan is his striking. He needs to work on his striking. He just can't rely on jiu-jitsu, because if you rely on jiu-jitsu and you rely on that submission, man, you know how hard it is to really get that guy down if you're not going to really attempt going to double leg or single leg takedowns in the first round, and you try to come back with that second round and try to work throughout the whole round. I mean, I know there's world class jiu-jitsus, and look at Gracie, but we live in an era where you can't just have jiu-jitsu, and I guess apparently you can't just have judo either. You have to have an overall game. That's the name of the game. That's why I appreciate Bruce Lee so much, because he incorporated all that aspect to it. You got to have striking. If jiu-jitsu doesn't work, you got to rely on that striking. You got to be just as deadly on there. You got to be just as deadly as those head kicks, as your striking, your combos. But Ryan didn't have it. Ryan just didn't. You could tell throughout the first 2 rounds that he wasn't going to win with the striking. You could tell he wasn't as developed, and he would have to rely on the jiu-jitsu. And you know what? There was a couple times he was on the ground with Saul, but Saul's game plan and what they taught him, he definitely used it as a T. He got out of those submission attempts. He got out of the ground. I mean, Saul did everything he needed to do to win. It wasn't very pretty. It wasn't very exciting, but he won. And Ryan, you need to work on your striking, buddy. I mean, you can't just rely on the ground game, because most of the time, you're gonna have people who are gonna defend that. And even though they're not world class jiu-jitsu people, themselves, that doesn't necessarily mean they don't know how to defend it. So as long as they know how to defend it, look at Chuck and look how many years he was successful. However, Chuck was a different kind of era, and we're in a moving forward, and you just have to have an overall game plan. Overall everything, striking, jiu-jitsu, just everything, man. So that's basically about it. I thought the challenge last week too was pretty fun, how they were dropping the watermelon and stuff. Faber won that. They won money. I thought overall these, the fights are, the Artem and Chris fight was really exciting, but overall, the other fights were okay. We're going to see if Faber's guy, I forgot his name, but he has one more guy. And I think his name is Orosa. We'll see if Faber could still be in this competition, but a lot of his guys just, they're out, and it's all McGregor's guys. So I want to see an even match, and I would have liked to see, even amount of McGregor and Faber, but it is what it is, to see if Faber's guy can make it all the way to the finals, or even win this whole thing. So overall, Artem and Chris was definitely the fight of the week. Ryan's was a little lackluster, and I don't know why he didn't try the single or double leg takedown in that first round. It just seemed like Ryan just didn't do enough to win that fight, and it showcased. It showed. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait for McGregor and Aldo. Oh my God, I'm gonna have a little breakdown on that. I'm definitely gonna do my homework this time around. The problem with the Ronda and home fight, I know I keep going around and home because it was that was a good fight, man. That was a good card. But the problem with that fight is I went for my gut, and I should have studied more of home, and I should have I did get some elements right, but overall I got the match wrong. So I'm going to start breaking and really doing my homework on when I do the overall thoughts and prediction on McGregor versus Aldo. I already know these are two fantastic fighters. I think Aldo's a beast, but he has been battling some injury. I think McGregor, like him, hate him, I think he is still one of the great fighters out there right now. Is he the best right now? We'll see when he fights Aldo, but I'm going to break it down and tell you who I think is going to win. I want Aldo to win, but to be a realistic prediction guy, you got to be realistic and see what strengths do both these fighters have, and who has the bigger strengths and weaknesses into winning December 12th, I believe's matchup. Can't wait though. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. That's all you have to do is just click it, like the video if you like it, and comment below. Let me hear you guys' thoughts on the fights so far in Ultimate Fighter. Season's been okay, not the best season in the world, and I don't think it's the worst season in the world, but it's okay. But I would love to see McGregor and Faber, but I think McGregor has that, but I would have to break that down too. So I'm Dan Maggie, son. Till next time, guys. I'll see you later.